Hey, it's 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, October 30th, 2024. Today I was going through a lot of the old photos. I'll just mention I moved the cows 2 more sections. I've got some protein supplement in the back of my side-by-side. I'm going to drop down on the trough at the other end of the row. But anyway, wanted to share this with you guys. I reviewed some of the videos and the images that I took, the photos that I took ever since I first got this land back in 2021. And for those who haven't really been following well, 2021 was a wet year, at least the first half of that year was. And then after about July, the water turned off, right? And so 2022 was one of the worst droughts we've ever seen in Texas history. And 2023 was a drought, and technically we're still in a D2 severe drought here in Hopkins County in Texas right now, right? And that drought, for 2022 especially, there was no grass. Like, we had hardly any grass compared to what you're looking at right now. If I had this in the spring of 2022, I would have been so happy, but I didn't. The grass grew a little bit in late April. I think that's when we got a little bit of rain in mid or late April. And then the grass grew, and then it died. And then by the end of May, everything was brown and dead. June, brown and dead. The summer grass wasn't really coming in. And then when July came around in 2022, it was just wispy, dry grass that, you know, you touch it and it'd like fall apart. And the cows were just basically eating hay at that point. Not even hay, worse than that. And that July, we had a field fire. I remember the day pretty well. We had a little bit of a rainstorm that morning, just a little bit of rain, lightning that was super close. And I think what happened was the lightning started the fire. But any number of things could have started the fire. You know, the grass was so dry. But after 2022, you know, I sold half the cows. What else did I do? I just basically went into a holding pattern. I bought feed to feed the cows. I try to get so the wind is not being driven directly into the microphone here. All right, I'll stand here and take video, and hopefully the wind won't be so bad. But 2022 was bad. 2023 was relatively better, but it still was pretty dry in the latter half of 2023. About July, I think July was dry, August was dry, September was dry. It was pretty dry up until about January this year. And we got a bunch of rain in the winter. Then we got a bunch of rain in spring, and the rain kept coming, and it ruined some people's hay crops because it was too wet, right? But this is what the best part of my pasture looked like in 2023 in August and September. And now I have this in October in 2024 in just an average decent part of my pasture. So I'm really blessed with grass. The last video I kind of, you know, complained that I had too much grass a little bit. I know, first world problems, right? But it's going to be hard for me to know if the rotational grazing is making a huge difference compared to just the fact that we actually get rain now. But when I look at my neighbors' pastures, I definitely do see a difference. One of my neighbors, he's growing goatweed and ragweed. I don't see anything else growing in his pasture. You know, he keeps his cows out there continuously, and he has horses too. But I just don't really see the grass that we have in his pasture. And neighbor across the way, he's very low stocked. He has a lot more acreage than the cows that he has, but even him doesn't have quite as much grass as I do. And here I am. I think I could probably double the animal units right now, and I'd be just fine, right? Because of the amount of grass I have. You know, the rotation schedule that I have right now, I'll be back in 6 months to this spot. If the rest of the field looks like this, which probably it doesn't, but you know, if we get some rain tonight, if we get some rain tomorrow and then rain next week, you know, we'll reach the end of the field probably in about 3 months, right? So we'll be there in December. I'm sure that we'll get some regrowth at least, you know. But I got hay too. I got a ton of hay that I got to feed through the cows. And I was thinking, like, what if I end up in May with a bunch of hay bales that are just old hay? You know, I'm thinking of taking some of the hay bales and storing them on the concrete next to my shop, just so it lasts a little longer, it doesn't rot. But you know, I got to roll the hay out eventually. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I was trying to figure out a way to document such that I could go back in time and say what was happening this time last year, maybe organize the calendar by weeks or months, and just kind of get a sense of where everything was at. But I don't really have the technology to do that yet. And, you know, right now the best the best tool I have is just looking at old photos organized by date and just jumping around and you know, looking at photos and see what I can see. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Have a great day. Take care and bye-bye.